Shalom, this is your brother Moth coming back with another video. Before we start it off, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and great millstone who were well, prophet, and teaching his truth. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the elect who scattered amongst the nation, made elect other the nations, being that speckled bird, going back to the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans that we know today. And I wanted to go into a video. I wanted to go into an article talking about, the immigrants and, them eating, the pets and stuff like that, because this is a serious thing that came about. And a lot of people joking and making fun of the situation when, it's going to get to a time when, instead of them eating pets and animals, they're going to start eating people, But, people in Babylon likes to make jokes and stuff about it and think that it's not really a big deal. But it's going to come a time when, it's just going to get serious. So I want to start it off with the article. And it says, Haitian migrants eating pets. And it says, here's the even more serious story about immigrants in Springfield, Ohio. And I'm going to get to the video, but I want to read some of the article first. And then after that, I'm going to play the video. I got two videos, to be exact. Lord willing, Lord willing is edifying and straight to the point. I don't really have much precepts and scriptures to go by, but, Lord willing through the Spirit, you'll be edified. And it says, police in Springfield, Ohio, told the Springfield News Sun that migrants turning pets into patois was not something that was on the radar right now. A city spokesperson says there has been no credible reports or specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrants community. Critics have said the claim about about Haitian migrants eating pets are racist. It says the tale, however, hints at much larger concerns about the recent influx of migrants in Springfield, a city of 60,000 people, about 45 minutes west of Columbus. It says official says up to 20,000 Haitian immigrants have flown into the city in the last several years, putting a huge strain on the city's service. It says they're in the parks grabbing up ducks, and this is basically going into the video that we're finna play in a few. And it says the craze began with an August meeting of the Springfield City Commission, where a 28-year-old man claimed without evidence the Haitian migrants were beheading ducks at the local parks and taking them home to eat. They're in the parks grabbing up the ducks by their neck and cutting the head off and walking up with them and eating them. Quoted the man, it says, imploring the commission to rein the immigrants. Imploring the commission to rein the migrants. Another woman at a previous meeting said she seen migrants field dressing roadkill on the side of the highway, snatching park birds to cook them up in a barbaric stew. And it says also spreading online or grabs of a post made by someone in Springfield Facebook group claiming a woman cat went missing, then purportedly seen strung up and butchered for dinner in Haitian's migrants' yard. One of the videos that went viral with the claims showing a woman who was arrested for allegedly eating a cat last month. The clip appears to show 27-year-old Alexis Telia Farrell, who, according to Fox 12, was charged after Madden August 16 rampage in which she allegedly stomped on a cat, then devoured it in front of her neighbors. However, recordings do not indicate the woman is either Haitian or a migrant, and she was arrested in Canton, about 3 hours from Springfield. And I want to go and play the video, and then after I got another video, going
TikTok
into the
and stuff. I
situation
do
as well.
YouTube. I think it's like kind of odd that like a guy like me has to come out from doing what I do on a daily basis to have fun because I see what's going on in these streets and I see you guys just sitting up there in them comfy chairs and suits and like, and I'm getting out here every day and I'm broadcasting this and you guys are just sitting up there in suits or something. Like I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into uh, they flipping cars in the middle of the street, and it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to like seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them like
Donald Trump's decision.
And as you can see, the man basically, telling his story about how he's seeing these immigrants, coming in, by the boatload, you know, uh, and doing these wicked things. He's seeing this on a daily basis, but a lot of people just don't understand that. They probably might play it as a joke off, play it off as a joke right now, but this is a serious thing that's going to be happening. That's going to happen on the regular at the time it's about to come.
Joke, it's not funny. I really
I'm gonna
do
go
not
into this
feel
one
fucking
too.
safe here, bro. Like everyone on TikTok, on Facebook, making these jokes to get everything fucking funny. Like, imagine you being homeless for a whole fucking year for no fucking reason. Like, what the fuck? This shit is not fun. This shit is not cool, bro. They really out here decapitating animals and y'all are making jokes out of it. Imagine if you went outside and you saw your dog's head decapitated on the fucking ground. Like, why are y'all thinking this shit's a joke? It's not a joke. I don't feel comfortable walking anywhere. Like, what the fuck? I should be able to feel safe in my own city. Everybody's fucking homeless out here. Ain't shit but fucking scary ass Haitians just lurking and creeping and shit. Y'all thinking this shit's motherfucking funny like he making this shit up. It's not made up, bro. This shit is real life. This shit is really affecting me. Like, what the fuck?
And as you can see, as the J woman, she goes in and, basically expressing how she feel about the situation with the whole migrants and the people eating the dogs and stuff like that, and a lot of people making jokes about it. It's gonna come a time, like I said before, when this is gonna be a normal and it's gonna turn out to be, them just eating, pets and cats, dogs and all these other things, but it's gonna turn out to, them actually doing cannibalism. Like these things of the old is coming back to the past, and it's gonna be rampant, because we're coming into dark times right now. And I want to start off with Jeremiah 28:8. And it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war, evil, and of pestilence. And, the prophets, Salakia, and the prophets that are of old, and, through regeneration, if you have the ears to hear and eyes to see, if you have the ears to hear and eyes to see, you will know that, the same prophets of old that was prophesying these things that's coming to pass, are here today doing the same thing, because that's the main job of a prophet, to warn his people, to warn the Most High people for these times that's about to come. And, it's going to get real serious out here. And I want to go to Jeremiah 30 and read 4-7. And it says, and these are the words that Yahweh spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus said Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of not of peace. Like you. Ask ye now and see whether a man do travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all the faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And, it's going to come to that time, when it's just going to be pure dark. It's not going to be a time of light. A lot of people thinking that, when that time comes, it's going to be all peaceful and stuff like that. You know, they'll be able to make it out of it with the rapture and so on and so forth. It's not going to be that. You know, we are coming into some dark, troubling times. You know, times where wicked is going to be rampant. You know, the city is going to be wasted. It's going to be very dark. You know, there's going to be a lot of gruesome things that's going to be coming to on the earth. And it says, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all face are turned into paleness. You know, a grown man is going to be screaming. A grown man is going to be crying. And you know, when you see a grown man crying and screaming like he's in fear and pain, you know, that's a troubling sight to see, because, you know, you wouldn't see that on a daily basis, but it's going to come to a time when you're going to see it majority of the time. It's going to be every day that you wake up. You're going to wake up out your sleep, you know, hearing these things, you know, and the people's faces are going to be pale for the sights that they're going to see, hear, you know, and be enduring in these times. You know, it's not going to be a time of, you know, gloomy. Not a time of what it is, you know, sunshines and rainbows and shit like that. It's going to be a dark time, you know, a time that we never seen before, a time that was never recorded in history. You know, it's going to be a very wicked and evil time. And I'm going to get 2nd Esdras 15, read 1 through 6. It said, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. And it says, Fear not the imagination against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee, that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, said Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For the wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. And, you know, that's what the prophets are doing now. They're letting it be known that the word that, you know, the Most High has spoken, and through these prophecies, they are going to come to pass. You know, and all the people who's, you know, don't care, who don't hear and stuff like that, you know, we shouldn't be afraid to warn them, because it just wasn't made for them. This truth and, you know, these prophecies and these words in this Bible is made for the elect, you know, so they could be saved when these times come, so they could be prepared, so they could be, you know, aware of the situation that's about to come to pass, you know. And it says, verse 5, it says, Behold, said Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For the wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. And these are the things that's going to come to pass, you know, during Jacob's trouble. You know, the sword, you know, a lot of bloodshed and killing. You know, the famine, you know, a lot of people going to die from starvation. You know, death and destruction. It's going to be a lot of destruction going on, you know. And the wickedness, you know, it far exceed, you know, and it polluted the whole world. You know, the whole world is going to be in this state. But it's mainly going to happen in Babylon the Great, which is America, you know, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, you know. And I'm going to go down to 14 and read to 17. It says, Woe to the world and to them that dwell therein. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. One people should stand up to fight against another, and the sword in their hand. For there should be sedition among men. And, you know, that's what's going to happen now. That's what's going to happen, you know, the times are going to come. You know, men's going to fight against men. You know, a lot of people are going to have bloodsheds and stuff like that. There's going to be a civil war, you know, et cetera, et cetera. You know, they're going to be rebellious against people. And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. The course of their actions shall stand in their power. And a lot of men is not going to, you know, care about the laws, you know, whoever's in charge or rule over them, because, you know, they're going to have, like, you know, militia groups and people in their own little, you know, cliques, you know, clicking up together, you know, having their own thing going on. You know, they're not going to care about who's in power, who's in charge, or who's telling them what to do and stuff like that. You know, it's going to be an all-time high of, you know, unaliving and destruction, you know, around in the streets and cities. And the man should desire to go in the city and shall not be able to, for because of the pride the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. So like I'm gonna read on down to 19. And it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but should destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread for a great tribulation. And, these are, the things that's going to come to pass, when men is going to get to that time when they're going to have to provide for their family. They're going to do anything by means, to take care of their family and keep, them safe. And it's going to come to a time when a lot of people, is going to be in that struggle of famine, they're going to start, consuming one another. It's going to be cannibalism. A lot of people are going to, take a chunk out of each other. They just going to have their eyes set on each other, one another. For the people that you see right now who's, who you cool with and stuff like that, that's going to be the main people who's going to be plotting on you when that time comes. And the reason why is Matthew 24:12. And it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And a lot of people going to, it's not going to have feelings for it, for one another. Same people who you call, your brother, your sister, and so on and so forth, your family or whatever. When that time comes, they're going to do those things to you. Going to be a lot of, raping, robbing, killing, a lot of things, The people who you call, close to you and stuff like that, they're going to be the main ones plotting on you. They're going to be waiting, I think let me see if I can find that. This is Matthew 10:34. It says, think not that I came to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man variance against his father. And I'm going to read on down, Salakia. This is Matthew 10:34. And I guess I'll read on down to 39. And it says, for I came to set a man variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and the man foes shall be they of his own household. And he that loveth the father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth the son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me, and he that taketh not the cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. And this is basically Yahushua speaking, saying like, look, when that time comes, it's not going to be peace. It's going to be woe, famine, destruction, and sword, and he's going to set, men against men, household against household. A lot of people who you call, family and stuff like that, they're going to be against you when that time comes, but, for the people who's, in the truth and the faith, you shouldn't be worried about them. You shouldn't be putting all your time and effort into your family because, when you're in this truth, a lot of people is going to rebel and turn against you. So you can't really worry about them, And it said, he that taketh not his cross and follow after me, he is not worthy of me. And he that findeth his life shall lose it. And he that loses his life he that loses his life for my sake shall find it. And, the main thing, in this truth is sticking to, following after Yahweh by Shem Yahshai with all our heart, mind, soul, and body, with everything that we can. We got to put him first, when that time comes. We can't have our family and friends and stuff like that because the main focus is, going back to the Heavenly Father and the begotten Son, doing what's right in his eyes. Because when that time comes, your family can't save you, The only person that can save you is Yahushua. And, I want to go back to 2nd Ezra 15, and I guess I'll read on 57 and 58. It says, thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. The city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger and eat their own flesh and drink their own blood. For very hunger, Salaki, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. And a lot of people, is gonna, die from famine, gonna be underlined from the sword and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. But just like with the Haitian situation with the migrants, a lot of people are gonna be turned into cannibals. They're gonna be doing cannibalism. Because it's gonna be that time. It's gonna be a very hard and dark time. People gonna go to the extra length just to survive. Just to make it by in these wicked times. And in verse 58 is talking about the families that's eating their own flesh. Women eating their cannibalizing their kids, so on and so forth. Mother, father, brother, sister, whoever it be. This is talking about the people that's of blood and of the same flesh. And I'm gonna end it off with 2 Kings 6:24. Like I said, it's not a long, shouldn't be a long lesson, and Lord willing, it's edifying. Chapter 6 and verse 24. And you can see from the title, it says the siege of Samaria, cannibalism. And it came to pass after this, the Ben-Hadad king of Syria gathered all his hosts. And when you go into hosts, it talks about the army, went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria. And behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 4 pieces of silver, and a full part of a cab dove. Full part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. So that time was rough, it was very expensive just for, the ass head. And, they was eating, dove's dung. And this shows you, how, these times was back in the day. But there's nothing new underneath the sun. I think that's in Ecclesiastes, check me if I'm wrong. But, these are the times that's going to be coming, forth. The same thing that was going on back in the day, it's going to be going on now. And the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, and there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help, my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord do not help thee, when shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor, or out of the wine press? And the king said unto her, What aileth thee? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, Give thy son, that we may eat him. And she hath hid her son. And it came to pass when the king heard the words of the women, that he rent his clothes and passed upon the wall. And the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh. Then he said, Most High, do so and more also to me, if the head of Elijah, the son of Shaphat, shall stand on him that on this day. And as you can see, they ate, that boy, there was cannibalism. You can see that they clearly, ate the boy, and it's going to be sad and troubling times, but these are the things that's going to come to pass, and this is why, Jeremiah 28:8, and it says, The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And these are what the prophets are doing. They're trying to warn the people, let the elect know, foremost, that's the most important thing that the prophet is doing, is warning the elect that these things are coming to pass, and a lot of people are not taking heed to these words. But, every day y'all put it off as a joke, and, y'all laugh, and stuff like that, so on and so forth. But when this time comes, you're going to be, out of luck. But that's pretty much all I have. Lord willing is edifying. And with that, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rekah HaKadosh. Double honor to apostles and elders and great millstone who be well, prophet and teaching his truth. Peace, blessing, and salutation to elect.